up, guys? Team Stamp West, Discraft Underground Team Captain. Got the man behind the scenes, Alex. Alex, how's it going?
Pretty good, pretty good.
And we are checking in today with the lady herself, Missy Gannon.
Hey.
Thanks for joining us, Missy. It's been a really interesting off season, coming off of a interesting kind of pandemic-filled year. So where are you spending your off season, and what have you been up to?
Yeah, it's been really crazy and busy. I'm in the Northeast. I'm back in New York. So it's been snowy, cold, kind of on and off. And but I've been able to, get some stuff done, work on putting and some field work and stuff like that. I have definitely been laid back on social media, but it's because there have been so many things happening, but really good things for tour. So you're kind of getting the exclusives because I have been really quiet on social media, just not having time and having to focus on getting stuff done. But that's fine. It's all good. But yeah, so things happening. Upgrade on the vehicle, upgrade on the camper, which I'm in right now, much bigger than what we had previously. So yeah, you're the first to know, really. But
Nice. And you guys tour with the camper all year, right?
Yep.
Nice. And then I know you had mentioned adding a family member.
Yes, he's sleeping in my lap, but I'll wake him up just for this.
Oh my God.
So this is little Rio. Yep, he's only 2 months old. He's very sleepy, but he's not so sleepy about 20 minutes ago. So he's giving you the angel side of his personality.
As he wiggles around.
I know. He's like, let me back down in my comfy blanket. He'll go back. But yeah, so that's another thing. It's I love dogs, and they're a lot of work. Puppies are a lot of work, but if there's anybody that's down to do that, it's me. So yeah, it's been a crazy couple of months for sure.
That's awesome. Well, we're super excited about 2021, and we're kind of in the heart of the off season now. We're starting to see some of the pieces or players kind of fall to new sponsors as some people move around, and a lot of people stay where they were. Again, coming off of a weird year. And you yourself are a year removed now from switching over to Discraft and kind of the off-season shuffle that goes with all of that. Can you kind of give us any insight as to what that process looks like for the player?
For sure. And despite my lack of Discraft wear, I am sticking with Discraft for another year. So, they've been awesome, and I couldn't be happier. But that said, going from last, 2019, coming from a different sponsor and coming over to Discraft, that process is a lot. I mean, it's such like a range of emotions that you feel, right? It's like, you obviously want to stay loyal to people that you've represented and have supported you, but at the same time, you have to do what's right for you. It's such a hard balance there, but at the end of the day, touring takes a toll on you financially, on you emotionally, and so the best thing that you can do is have somebody or a company or whoever behind you that's going to support you and help you get through that in a way that suits you the best. So, it's just like with any job, you have to make those decisions on what you think you're worth and also what you're willing to do for the company that you're representing. And so there's got to be a balance there, and just finding those people to work with. It's going to take a little time, and it all goes to what you feel is best for you. But yeah, I mean, it's a lot of writing down notes, a lot of pros and cons, a lot of balancing who's offering you what. And luckily I did have a few offers out there coming off of 2019. I had a decent season. I don't think it was anything groundbreaking, but it certainly was a good year for me, getting the putting world title and having a few, top 10 finishes and all of that. So started to get my name out there, tried to be pretty active on social media. I think people definitely did notice that, and Discraft was one of them. And yeah, I just vibed with everybody. Talked to Bob and Paul Uleberry, and obviously I knew Paige was going over there, and she had nothing but great things to say as far as how her process was going. So yeah, it just felt right and it felt good, and obviously it worked out because I had one of my best years yet, even with a whole new bag to work with. So yeah, it was really, really good. One thing that's so helpful is to not have to worry so much when you're on tour, because there is so much to worry about. And to have a company behind you that tries to ease the worries best as they can is always going to be helpful. And that's what Discraft did for me, for sure.
Nice. I want one follow-up question. I'm going to throw it over to Alex. How long do you felt like it took you to really get comfortable with your bags? I think that's a lot of things that a big thing that the fans always wonder is how long is it going to take some of these, top players, these elite athletes to really adjust
Mm-hmm.
to a lineup that, they're maybe just exploring for the first time.
Yeah, honestly, as weird as it was this year, it was interesting to go out on tour, starting at the Memorial for me, and then going to Waco, and kind of, having, I think I had like an 8th place and a 10th place or something coming out of the gate, which actually I felt really good about, saying, with the new bag and everything. But then having that sort of 2-month break was a really kind of a relief for me, in the sense that it gave me nice weather back in New York, where we kind of fled to, and really gave me a better time to really work on my discs and my field work. And then all of a sudden I come out at DDO and I have my best finish yet. So honestly, it was a kind of bittersweet. It was good, and it was kind of weird, stopping tour completely, but then having that opportunity to get that practice in, and then follow up with a few finishes, right after that. So I do think it probably takes about probably 2 months or so, and honestly, right off the bat, it's just looking at what you were comfortable with throwing previously and trying to find that good match that is comparable to what you threw before, and just trying to keep it simple. What's your go-to driver? Okay, find that. What's your go-to mid-range? All right, find that. And then obviously the putting is probably took the longest, but yeah, it's just keep it simple at first, and then you'll find it.
That's really interesting, and that's cool because like you said, you kind of had an opportunity to reset. Like you had those first two tournaments to kind of gauge what was going on, and then luckily and unluckily, you had time to really like relax into it and actually take the time to really do some of the mechanics work. So kind of taking from 2020 and going into 2021, you alluded to some big changes going on in your situation as you're touring. Talk to us about that. What does that look like? What are the specifics? How are you changing your style of touring in 2021? What does it look like?
Yeah, I mean, basically the same style of touring, but we're still gonna be full time in a camper. We did do some Airbnbs last year, and we'll probably do that again, because sometimes there aren't great campgrounds nearby, or there just aren't any sometimes in some of those bigger cities. So it'll be a mix of both, but it'll be almost exclusively camping and finding campgrounds. But yeah, just having we did fine. It was just me, Tom, and our dog Pippi, and now we have another dog, which maybe wouldn't have happened if we didn't upgrade our camper, but maybe, I don't know. But yeah, just having a little bit more space, a little more room to breathe, mostly just having more storage. And yeah, I think that we're going to do a little bit more vending potentially too. So we just wanted to have that extra space and extra, open those possibilities to be able to maybe vend or just carry more plastic. So yeah, it was a lot of planning. We started thinking about that towards the end of last year, probably a little too soon. I think my brain got a little overwhelmed at the end of last year, and I should have put that off for a little bit longer. But yeah, it's just it couldn't have, I honestly I couldn't have done it without having such a strong season and having the support from Discraft and yeah, it's been a really cool process to be able to do those things where we upgrade and we're like, okay, what's going to work for us and how are we going to make the tour more comfortable, and so we've definitely have accomplished that. We think we'll see how it goes. It'll a little new to us, but we'll see.
That's really cool, and I think that comfort level is one of the things I've listened to a few other pros talk about it recently. Is like as we kind of lean in, coming off of the COVID year where things were a little bit disjointed, going into the 2021 season, that comfort on the road is something you're gonna kind of really hold on to, and like that's what it is. You're really riding the road and you're enjoying the moments and the new stops and the stops you missed last year. So kind of along those lines of like those stops, what's the first stop for you? What does the beginning of the tour look like? Obviously you're in New York now, and usually the road starts on the opposite side of the country as far away as you can get.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, and it kind of makes us a little sad that we left Colorado because Colorado was such like a central, state, um, and also really close to Arizona, which will be my first stop. Not the Memorial per se, but there is going to be the All-Star Weekend for the Disc Golf Pro Tour, which is a new thing that is going on this year. And we have just been informed that it's going to be in Arizona at Fountain Hills on a modified layout. I don't know how solid these plans are, but that's what we've been told most recently. And that's going to be right before Las Vegas Challenge, which I'm currently not signed up for and I'm still on the fence about. I know there's only a few spots left and I kind of have to decide now or never if I'm going to do that. But I haven't played Las Vegas yet, mainly because it just hasn't worked out. But also, I think it was like 4 courses or something they were playing, and that just sounded like a lot. But it looks like it could be fun, and that might be our first stop. But if not, then our first stop will be Waco, I believe, for the All-Star Weekend.
That's really cool. I've heard a little bit of rumbling about the All-Star Weekend, and it's really interesting how DGPT is kind of leaning into this bigger than the tour kind of aspect, because I think it's this week, well, in time of recording, this week is the putting invitational kicks back up. There's another one of those. Are you doing that? Well, do you have any insights on that?
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure they did some pre-filming of those. Some of the, I don't know, exactly how much we've done so far. But yeah, so I am a part of that, and yeah, I think that's just airing this week or whenever, I forget exactly, but. Yeah, they're really trying to fill in those extras, what we see in some of the more major sports, kind of keeping it more fun, but also competitive at the same time. And I think it's really cool. I think it's a way to keep people engaged in the Disc Golf Network. And yeah, they're definitely doing a lot. And it's super cool. When I found out about the All-Star Weekend, I was just like, wow, this is really awesome. Like, I knew I had a great year, but this kind of like is a little bit of a cherry on top,
Yeah.
So yeah, that should be really fun, and yeah, the putting invitational is always fun. So
that's so cool. So talking about the DGPT, I think Wes and I were talking about it a few weeks ago, that there are, I think, 22 events on the Elite Series with like 16 or 18 on the DGPT. With so many events, I think 27 overall, including some of the majors. With so many events, what are you prioritizing? Are you gonna hit some of the Silver Series? Are you focusing on just NT DGPT? What's that look like for you?
Yeah, well, I am definitely hitting some of the Silver Series, but I'm prioritizing the Disc Golf Pro Tour, mainly the Elite Series, and then also try to hit as many of the NTs as possible. It's kind of weird coming from like basically a solely Disc Golf Pro Tour year to now like everything back together. I mean, hopefully that's our hope, but everything back on track and back to normal. But yeah, I'm certainly prioritizing the bigger events, and then I'm gonna kind of balance out, being able to see the country more. So luckily, I don't necessarily have to go to every single A tier. I want to go to the ones that I like, or people that I like that are running it, or So it's going to be a balance of, okay, maybe we'll go hike somewhere this weekend or something like that. So I'd like to be able to do those different things and my other hobbies, and keep my job, the main focus. But yeah, we kind of always been on the go, every year, and it'll be nice to kind of mix it up. But certainly we'll be at most of the big events this year.
That's really cool. That's really cool. So, I think you kind of answered this last question, but I'll ask it anyway. What are you most looking forward to now that you're in the second year with Discraft? Second year, kind of with this whole structure put in place. What are you looking forward to in 2021?
Yeah, just to kind of keep building on the season that I had last year. Obviously I had a really hot start and then kind of cooled off, but I still, made cash every single event, and I think I was in the top 10 almost every event, and yeah, so I just want to continue that, and I want to push myself even farther and get up into that top 5 more consistently, and hopefully win a disc golf pro tour event or a big event this year. I don't think that's out of reach at all, but that would be huge. And so I know with the support of Discraft and anything is possible. So yeah, looking forward to the Tour Series discs. I'll be keeping the Undertaker, but
Awesome.
I don't know in terms of plastic or whatever. So that'll be really cool. And I'll also have a special run of Challenger SSs in ESP Swirl.
Ooh,
nice.
Coming out through OTB Disc. So I think it might be one of the first kind of bigger production of, or maybe at all, of a premium plastic Challenger SS. So
only production.
Yeah.
Only
What?
production?
Only production of them, yeah.
That's
Wow.
crazy. That's so
I know.
cool.
Yeah. So
I've been begging for one of those. I was asking Heinold. I was like, please add this to the enormous list that you have, because I would love to have one for a throwing putter.
Yeah.
I'm definitely going to be picking those up. We'll definitely stay tuned for the release on OTB and drop something on our page too, because that's like the one throwing putter everybody needs, but maybe they don't know they need yet. Is a ESP Swirl Challenger SS. They're going to be so cool.
That's so cool.
Yeah, I'm really excited. I can't wait for those. So I don't know exactly when they're going to come, but we're on it. We're getting the process going, and artwork's been submitted, so it's going. They'll be here soon.
That is so cool. Well, that wraps up our interview questions, but we can't let you go without doing some rapid fires. We have a record 11 rapid fires to throw at you.
Oh boy. Okay.
I know. Are you ready?
I think so.
Maybe I gave this one away. First question, other than the Undertaker, what's the one disc that everyone should bag?
Challenger SS.
We know that you like coffee. Are you your favorite dark roast, light roast, or somewhere in between?
Somewhere in between.
Yeah, medium. Your favorite food place to hit up on tour?
Oh gosh. I don't even know. I don't know. We cook a lot. I think I said this last time we were here.
I looked. I don't think I asked.
To eat it all. I don't remember. Yeah, but we cook a lot, and basically, Paige almost always has some sort of place to go to anywhere we go. So
that's awesome.
Which tournament do you most look forward to each year? And this was actually a fan question from Brandon Hinckley.
I really love the MVP. I don't know. It's just like a really cool place. I love GMC too. Anywhere in the Northeast. I think maybe I just have the roots here, and special place in my heart.
Yeah, I like it. One stays and one goes. Miley Cyrus or Britney Spears? And Britney Spears, excuse me.
Oh, so I have to choose who stays and who goes?
Yep.
I mean, I'm a Britney Spears era girl, so Britney Spears stays, Miley goes. Sorry.
Follow up on that one. What song or album do you have on repeat right now?
Oh boy. I've been listening to Sun Squabby. They're like a cool jam band.
Okay.
I know the album name. It's just kind of anything that they put out, I like.
Awesome.
Nice. Shout out to Sunsquappy.
Yeah.
Tournament you think that you're most likely to win this year?
Oh, probably the Preserve. Honestly, I felt really comfortable. I don't know what kind of changes they're gonna make. They probably are gonna make changes. Just because it was a little loose last year, but yeah, I feel good there.
Nice. I like it. You've probably seen more of the country than most people. Is there one city kind of off the beaten path that you think everybody should visit?
Oh boy. See, I hope I'll have better answers for you this coming year because I really haven't explored enough. But yeah, honestly, I had a really good time in New Mexico. They are like cool mountains and like I don't know, I didn't expect that when we camped in New Mexico, but that was really a really nice to go.
Yeah, I think I've been in New Mexico as well. Very beautiful. So I certainly agree with that
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
You have to pick a spirit animal. What is it?
Uh, probably a puppy.
Solid
We'll
choice.
take it. Do you have a favorite whale sack print, or do you have whale sack print that you are going to have this year?
Yeah, I will have my own whale sack print, and I'll even have socks to match it, but from separate people. But yeah, so I'll have a kind of a new logo, and I'm digging those kind of like retro rainbow sort of vibes. So it might have something like that going on.
That's
Nice.
really cool.
That's awesome. And then our last question, we know you're good friends with Paige Pierce. We had talked about there being 27 Disc Golf Pro Tour and NT events. I can't imagine she hits them all, but with her energy, maybe she will.
Yeah.
How many wins does Paige Pierce get this year in those big events?
I bet she wins at least half.
Half.
Wow.
Oh, I like it.
Being conservative, honestly. I know. I joked about this with somebody else. How Paige is like how a young dog keeps another older dog like young. That's Paige to me, and we're not even that much far apart in age. But I just feel like an amp of energy when I'm around her. It's really funny, but yeah, she's a beast, and hopefully I can beat her one day. But I'll be trying. That's for sure.
Yeah,
That's
you had
awesome.
a lot of very close this year on a couple occasions. She's certainly somebody to be admired. I've seen her in person at tournaments, and she's
Yeah,
taking photos and she's vending, and then she goes and shoots a course record, and it's just
yeah,
really mind blowing what she does within disc golf.
for sure.
But
Definitely.
that's all of our questions. We want to give you a quick minute if you have anything else that you want to add, or if anybody else you want to shout out. Floor is yours.
Cool. Well, thank you guys for having me. I think it's like almost been exactly a year, probably like very close to a year since I was here last. So definitely love coming back and chatting with you guys. And yeah, again, just quick shout out to Discraft, to Whale Sacks for picking me up this year. I'll be sticking with Grip as well. And yeah, I'm probably forgetting somebody, but OTB discs, oh my gosh, yes, they're gonna be awesome this year. Having my couple of more custom discs, maybe more in the works. So I'm excited for that. And
Sweet.
yeah, and so thank you to everybody who supports me. And I will be back on social media. This will be my kickoff. I'll come back after today.
Perfect.
Yeah. So yeah, thank you to everybody. Thank you to Tom, my partner in crime, touring the country, and yeah, it's gonna be a good year, and I'm excited.
Awesome.
So
Well, I know
cool.
we're super excited to follow along with your journey this year. I'm sure we'll try and check in at some point during the year as well. But
Sure.
that's it for us. And at the end of the day, Alex, one thing left to do. What is it?
Make that putt.
Make it.
Like that putt.